It's a beautiful Sunday, September 28th, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful, award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match, roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. It's really nice to just sit stress-free, your squad's undefeated, and just watch some football, Ted.
It was very nice, very relaxing. Just sit back, watch a bunch of games, throw them all up on the multi-view, and it was awesome. That's the most football I've watched in one day in a really, really long time.
It was great. The golf, not so great. We'll get to
Not so
that.
great.
We'll get to that in winners and losers. But before we jump into the OU stuff, ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars. We are doing a live podcast at Texas Live at 11 a.m. on October 10th. We will be the opening act for Mac Brown and Barry Switzer, who will take the stage, tell a lot of stories, answer questions. That's probably not, with Switzer, that's probably not something you're going to want to miss.
No doubt. No
But
doubt.
it
Especially
is,
those two together. That'll be really good.
it should be really fun. The whole thing is 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Texas Live on October 10th. So that's the Friday before OU Texas. It should be really, really cool. And it's free. You just come, you just show up. It's free.
What else could you ask for, right?
Going to be a lot of fun. So please come if you can. They're calling it the Red River Reunion. I like it. I'm an alliteration fan.
There we go. Hey, as many Red River names as you can come up with for everything that weekend, just do it.
Texas Live, 11 a.m., October 10th. Be there. Now to the stuff that people really care about. Carry about? That's not the word. People stuff that people really care about. John Mateer.
Yep.
The update that we were given, Ted, is that very successful surgery. That's obviously great news. We saw the tweet that Mateer put out called Dr. Shin the GOAT. Everyone wants to know, though, will he be ready for OU Texas? And the simple answer is they don't know. Now, when the original decision was made that he was going to have surgery on his thumb, they had targeted South Carolina or Ole Miss for his return. But I've been told that him returning for OU Texas has not been ruled out. Like Dr. Shin didn't say, you can't come back that quickly. So there's nothing definite yet. And I know that every OU fan wants an answer, but there just isn't an answer right now. It will all depend on how he heals, and they should know a lot more a week from now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's really all you can do is, trust that the surgery went well and just see what happens between now and then. I'm sure that they're doing everything they can, all the right protocols and everything to get him back. But you just kind of have to see how the surgery takes. And, I'm not sure what exactly the process was. As I understand it, there's different options for the hardware that you can use for that injury. And depending on what you have to use can kind of be one of the main things in how quickly you recover. So hopefully whatever it is takes really well, and he's got a chance for OU Texas. I still would say slim chance for OU Texas. Pretty high, pretty decent likelihood for South Carolina, and I would expect him back for Ole Miss with the low percentage that he doesn't play in that game. But that's just my personal view on it. That hasn't really been reinforced or anything by anyone else, but I mean, that's just for some mental clarity. That's how I'm approaching it.
Right. I think everyone wants to go, oh, he's going to be back for OU Texas, but you can't bank on that. Now,
Yep.
there is a discussion to be had about like if Mike Hawkins looks great against Kent State and then goes out and plays really well against Texas, then maybe that changes some of your decision making. Not
Yep.
saying that Mateer's going to get Wally pipped or anything like that, but just you can depending on what happens in these next couple of games, like things can change. The decision making process can change, but we'll see. All that matters, all that we know up to this point, is that the surgery went really, really well. Successful surgery. That's really all you can ask for. And with this injury, the recovery timeline varies with each individual. So it all comes down to how Mateer's thumb responds to the surgery and to the rehab. We'll see.
Yeah. I'm optimistic about it. And I think I'm probably a little less have a little less anxiety than a lot of people because I fully believe and trust that Mike Hawkins is going to do really well at quarterback.
As do I. I expect him to come out, especially against this Kent State defense. I expect him to come out and look really, really good and for that offense to be efficient.
Yep. And it again, I know I said this before, but the timing, if it had to happen, this is exactly where you would have picked it. Your backup has a bye week to settle in as the starter, and then you get a tune-up game against Kent State. And should you need to go and play against Texas, well, you've had some time to settle into that spot. It's not like on Tuesday afternoon they had to decide to do surgery and you're starting against Texas on Saturday. So this timeline has been pretty beneficial.
So now the fan base, hopefully the fan base can rally around Mike Hawkins the way that it did Dr. Steven Shin.
Local celebrity, Dr.
That
Steven Chin.
was I I think this week OU fans showed why they're the best fans in college football. The amount of Dr. Shin content was astounding. It was amazing. I feel like everyone across the country has more respect for OU's fan base the way that they embraced this entire thing. It became the most entertaining thing in college football, Ted. It was unbelievable. Incredibly well done by Sooner Nation.
It's and it's honestly it's hilarious, but I guess what I'm saying is if you just asked a random Sooner fan who did John Mateer's surgery, there's a very high likelihood that that random Sooner fan would know the name of the surgeon. I don't know if anyone on any team, any other time, can name a surgeon for one of the injuries on the football team, and everyone knows Dr. Steven Shin. That was just hilarious.
They know not only do they know that he did the surgery, they know all the other people he's
Oh yeah.
operated on. They know what hospital he is. He's out there in California. Like OU fans were all in on this entire situation. And I kept thinking about like clearly OU fans were praying for John Mateer and his thumb, but I have to imagine no fan base has ever prayed for a surgeon more than OU fans with this whole thing because they all knew who was doing it. And they're like, all right, we got multiple tweets about classrooms praying for John Mateer and Dr. Shin. Like the entire thing was amazing. And I think it truly showed what OU fans are all about. Like we are as invested and as knowledgeable as any fan base in college football. And that I just thought the way that OU fans went about this was incredible.
I say it every year. I mean, it's really never ending, but definitely during football season, it's a soap opera and you don't know where the storyline is going to take you, but our fans are engaged in this storyline 100% for the full duration of the season. It's great.
I I do have an important update that I think a lot of listeners will be interested in.
Okay.
There were a lot of people that suggested that Dr. Shin should somehow find himself in the pregame video. I can tell you that that idea has been relayed to the proper people.
That is so funny. Can you imagine him in the scrubs? There's only one. That's so good.
He's got to do the thumb, right? He's got to, hey, there's only one
There's
thumb up.
only one. Oh, that's hilarious.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that the idea of getting him in the scene setter, the hype video, whatever you want to call it, pregame, that idea has been relayed to the proper people.
That is so funny. I hope it happens.
So do I. There's no better time to do it than against Kent State, a game where you know you're going to win.
Or do you wait and just unveil it whenever Mateer's going to play so it's like everyone in the crowd instantly knows that he's going to be the starter?
That's a great point. But if he comes back against South Carolina, we're on the road for that game, so it doesn't quite
That's
hit
true.
the same, you know?
Yeah. Even down in Texas, the pregame video just doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't, but could you imagine the crowd pop
Oh, it'd be awesome.
if Dr. Steven Shin says there's only one Oklahoma, gives the thumbs up, and Mateer comes sprinting out of the tunnel?
Which, like, to that point, if that happened, like, you would have, I don't know, however many Sooner fans are there, half, 50,000, whatever, would go insane. And the other 50,000 would be like, who the hell is that guy? What is happening right now?
Dude, I don't know. It became like the Dr. Shin content kind of took over college football Twitter.
Yeah, I guess there's probably I now that you say it like that, there's always a direct connection between Sooner fans and Texas fans. So I guarantee their fan base knows who he is too. Now you're right. That's funny.
There's an alarming amount of Texas fans that know who did John Mateer's thumb surgery. I guarantee it. Just it's
Beautiful.
just amazing. But we'll see what happens with Mateer. They don't know, but it was great to hear successful surgery. Everything went well. We'll see how the guy heals. It's up in the air. There's nothing definite right now.
Waiting game right now. That's about all you can do. They'll be checking on that thing hourly to see what the what the progress is. So I'm sure we'll know as soon as, well, maybe not. I mean, maybe there'll be some secrecy to when he's coming back, but I don't know. I feel good about it. As good as you could. There's probably never been a time where a Heisman front runner is in danger of missing multiple games, and I've just been like, I think we'll be just fine. But for some reason, that's how I feel right now.
I think it kind of just says a lot about where this team is at.
Yep, I agree.
And maybe a lot about the defense. Now, let's talk about how this team can get better. I think the goal at the minimum is college football playoff with what we've seen from this team. But you got to continue to keep improving during the season. So how can the Sooners get better? We'll talk about it next. But first, taking a road trip this summer? Remember to stop at Love's Travel Stops. You can't miss the heart of the highway, and with the Love's app, you can save big all summer long. You can save 10 cents per gallon on gas and up to 25 cents per gallon on auto diesel. Save with the Love's app this summer and be welcomed by clean places and friendly faces. Certain conditions may apply. See loves.com for details.
It's football time in Oklahoma, and you need beef built like our guys on the field, premium, powerful, and ready to perform. That's Didier Ranch. They're a family ranch right here in Oklahoma, raising and shipping their own beef nationwide. Steak burgers, premium ground beef, and they hand deliver next day to the Oklahoma City metro and surrounding areas. Norman, Moore, Edmond, Yukon, right from their ranch to your doorstep, faster than the Sooner schooner after a touchdown drive. Premium beef delivered. Visit DidierRanch.com and taste the luxury of tradition.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and proud official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. September in Oklahoma means one thing: OU football is here. And every home game this season will feature exclusive limited edition drinkware drops from Simple Modern. That means brand new designs only available at that game and while supplies last. You can also get $5 off our podcast tumbler with promo code GameDay on simplemodern.com. And with 10% of all profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, every sip supports Oklahomans on and off the field. Simple Modern, good everywhere. Okay, so Sooners are 4-0. They will be 5-0 heading into the Red River Shootout. Clearly, the Mateer injury is significant, but let's talk about how this team can get better. And a good football team always continues to build on its strengths and address its weaknesses. And you've got to do that, especially when you have bye weeks like they had this week. So, Ted, let's start on the defensive side of the ball. What has this defense done really well in your eyes? And then what are the weaknesses? Where do they need to improve? What do they need to address and fix?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think this group is really good at playing team defense, responsibility driven, guys in the right place doing their job, knowing like the communication, what we're in, what are our adjustments from the defensive line all the way back. And we've played a bunch of guys, which is pretty telling. Usually the factor that keeps you from playing a lot of guys isn't necessarily athleticism or ability. It's just trust. Can you trust to in big moments to have your second group of backers in, or your second safeties, or however you look at it? And there's a lot of trust right now because we play really good, responsible, smart defense as a group. When you look at the individual factors, our rush defense has been fantastic. Havoc in the backfield, tackling at the line of scrimmage, physicality. Teams are having a real difficult time running the ball on us. I think the passing defense has been, for the most part, really good. And that starts with the run defense and the chaos we create with the defensive line. We're about as good, maybe probably top 5 in the country in third down defense. And a lot of that is driven by stopping the run, forcing them in to tough third downs, and forcing everything to be thrown underneath, or we heat them up a lot in those opportunities and force the quarterback to have to get rid of it right away. So I think that's been really good. But there are definitely things that we can work on.
They are heading into this weekend. OU's defense was number 1 in success rate in SP Plus, and they were number 3 overall. The number 3 overall defense in SP Plus. That's what you want, right? That means you're playing elite defense. They've been excellent against the run. I would say when it comes to where things need to improve, man, the Cam Coleman stuff is now on tape.
Yeah.
And when you look at what this team has left the rest of the way, you've got Ryan Wingo at Texas. You've got Nick Harbor at South Carolina. You've got Chris Brazzell at Tennessee, who is just lighting it up. You've got Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams at Bama. Trey Wallace at Ole Miss. Like, Aaron Anderson got hurt in the LSU game, but they've got some very talented wide receivers. Like, you're going to see wide receiver after wide receiver after wide receiver. And we all saw the issues that this defense had with Cam Coleman.
Yep.
That's going to get tested. That has to get buttoned up.
Yep. And but whenever I start to look at the things that we can be better at, like the number one issue, and maybe it's the only issue, and you can tie it to some different things, but it's the explosive plays. The deep shots down the field had, Michigan hit us. Obviously Auburn hit several of those. that's been really the main thing. The explosive run. We do such a good job stopping the run and selling out. The problem is whenever you get aggressive and come up and everyone's in their gap, every gap is accounted for. If someone misses the tackle right there at the line of scrimmage, when you're selling out like that, you don't have a whole lot in the back end to come up and protect. So we're really aggressive against the run, and it's burned us a couple of times when we're there to make the play. It's kind of a dead situation, but someone misses a tackle or we misfit a gap just a little bit, and it is off and running. So we got to tighten that up. Tackling has been good for like 98% of the plays that we face, but the 2% that they haven't, it's turned into big chunks against us. So we got to tighten that up. And because of how aggressive we are against the run, how aggressive we are bringing pressure against quarterbacks, we're going to get a bunch of anti-aggression plays. The stutter goes, right? We saw that against Auburn. The double moves at wide receiver trying to get you to bite because we play so tight and so aggressive. Boot, we've had some problems with boot early on. I feel like we fixed a lot of that, but that's still something that we're going to see throughout. We have to be the best in the country at playing screens, whether it's interior screens with the D-line recognizing, tunnels on the outside with the D-line coming out and being a factor, and our secondary coming up aggressively, the bubble stuff way outside. We are excellent at that, which opens you up for like the screen and go stuff, right? Where they look like they're blocking the tunnel and they run the wheel on you. Some of that stuff. So we're going to see some counters to our aggressiveness, and that just means you have to be even more dialed in on the screws on what your responsibilities are.
I think the really only other thing you say, hey, we need to get better at this defensively is still haven't forced a turnover,
I know.
which is crazy. Now, you can't force a turnover on a bye week. Can't happen. No game. But it's just the only team in the country that hasn't forced a turnover.
Just crazy.
Yeah, because
Crazy
you're one of
stuff.
the best defenses in college football.
I know it. I know it.
Saving them all for Texas, hopefully.
They're going to come. I mean, we've had our hands on some footballs, as many sacks as we've had. It's surprising that we haven't jarred a ball loose. I mean, it's not like we're not a physical team. I mean, when our safeties, our backers come and strike you, they're bringing a lot of pain with a lot of those hits. They're going to come. It's one of those things that I don't know that you could stress too much about it. It's something that you talk about defensively, but usually in the framework of playing elite defense and guys being where they're at and stuffing the run and creating a ton of pressure on the quarterback, usually those things are just a byproduct of playing great defense, but somehow it just hasn't happened yet. It's another thing that you look at, it sticks out. And honestly, I think it's pretty crazy that statistically, defensively, we're where we are without forcing a turnover. How quickly those help you defensively is crazy. Immediately ends a drive. You're off the field, no more yards. You're giving it to your offense, often in great field position. By our team, we still haven't seen our entire football team hit full gear until some of those start coming, right? I mean, if you go to the Michigan game or the Auburn game and say, all right, we won those games, tight games, but what do those games look like if we force two turnovers on with our defense and set our offense up in scoring position? I think those games look totally different.
I'm with you. There's not much to complain about with the
No,
defense.
I think a lot of the stuff that we've seen the turnovers I believe are coming. We have a great coaching staff. I know because I've talked to Venables about it. At Rudy's, he knows the the stuff to try and counter how aggressive they are. We know that that's coming, so they're working on it. So they're drilling all of these issues without a doubt.
Maybe the only other thing I'd like to see is maybe some just more wins in some of the one-on-ones and pass rush, but that's kind of nitpicking, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, it's the biggest benefit you can have in football is if you can rush for and create that same type of pressure on the quarterback. And we
Yeah.
have at times, but you're right, it hasn't been super consistent.
The only other thing I'll say about the defense, and one thing they've done very well and needs to continue to be a strength, is Grayson Miller has been sending missiles off his right foot. And
No
I
doubt.
consider the punter and punt coverage part of the defense.
Number one in the SEC in average punt and net punting. That's pretty good.
Keep it up, Grayson.
Keep it up. That's it. When you have a great defense, like some of the seasons we've gone through here in the past, like special teams turn into like, okay, whatever, just give them the ball back, kick it through the end zone, give it to them on the 25, whatever. But when your defense is the tip of the spear, like it is with this football team, every bit of yardage helps.
Okay, let's talk about the offense. So, things that OU's offense has done really well. I would say the passing game has been solid. Now, I know Mateer's injured, and now we'll see how Hawkins handles things over these next couple weeks. But Mateer did a really nice job of distributing the football, and I have been a big fan of how they've attacked the middle of the field in the passing game. Now, would I like to see him run by some guys every once in a while and create some explosives that way? Yes, I would love to see that. And that is something that needs to improve, but that's connected to the run game, in my opinion, and we'll get there. But when I look at what this offense has done well up to this point, it's the passing game and pass protection. Pass protection has been OU's pass protection has been as good as anyone's in the country. I don't know if there's a statistic to prove that, but I feel like John Mateer has done a really, really nice job of sitting in the pocket. Now he escapes when he needs to, and he's been under some pressure, but especially in the Michigan game and the Auburn game, this is a group along OU's offensive line that has pass protected at a very high level. So I think those are the two things that this team has done really well offensively so far is pass protection and then distribute the football to the wide receivers and to Cannon.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I feel like our offense has been at its best whenever we're getting Mateer easy completions underneath, letting our guys go work, go try and make guys miss in space. And whenever you start hitting those short passes, the whole passing game kind of opens up. And uh, and I know we're going to get to the run game, but I'm starting to feel really strongly that whether it's against Kent State or Texas, at some point moving forward, I think that we're going to be or maybe we should become a pass heavy team.
Yeah, let's just get to where the offense needs to improve. First and foremost, stop turning it over.
Yep.
6 turnovers in 4 games is too many. Now, I know you played Michigan and Auburn in 2 of those 4, but the other ones, Temple and Illinois State, like 6 turnovers in 4 games is too many.
Yep.
And remember, if that Satania fumble doesn't get reversed, then that's 7 turnovers in 4 games. It's just too many. You got to clean that up, and you're going to be in a bunch of one possession games moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Can't turn the football over.
That's right.
Got to cherish it.
And I think with the 6 turnovers, I mean, Canick fumbled his first or second catch, right? Blaylock took a helmet on the football. Mateer and Blaylock bobbled that exchange in the last game. Who knows? I don't know. Was the thumb an issue in that? Was that Mateer? Was that Blaylock? I don't know. And it's kind of the same thing in the passing game. Should the receiver have sat down? Should Mateer have thrown that? I mean, they've all been kind of, it's not just we're making ridiculous poor throws into bad areas. There's just been some nuance to some of these. But at the end of the day, we are dead last in the SEC in turnover margin. That just can't continue. You cannot, I mean, you go back from the entire history of football, you have to be on the high side in turnovers in order to do something special. So like the defense has to do their part on that, but the offense does as well.
No doubt. That's why it's the number one thing that has to improve with this offense. The number two thing is clearly the running game. And I talked a lot about what I think they need to do when we recap the Auburn game. Now, you need the offensive line to get it as healthy as possible. You got to set Kanak up for success as a blocker in the run game. And I was just wondering, I was like, okay, how bad has it been? So I went and looked at the SP Plus stuff heading into this weekend. Yards per rush, and this takes away sack yardage. OU's at 3.9 yards per rush. That's 124th in the country. Stuff rate. So, how often do you get stuffed when you run it? Our stuff rate's 24.4%. That's 126th in the country. Yards per carry before contact, 1.83. That's 70th in the country. Yards per carry after contact, 2.28. That's 104th in the country. Just overall rushing success rate, 44.4%. That's 73rd in the country. These are a lot of numbers I'm throwing at you to tell you it hasn't been good, man.
Yeah.
So you've got a 4-game sample size. You got to change some things up. Now, the most important thing is getting Jake Michael as healthy possible, getting Fasusi back out there, getting Wee-Woo and that ankle as healthy as it can be. But you are not having success with the concepts that you've been running. And remember, 2 of those games are against Temple and Illinois State. So you got to rework it, man. I mean, you have to rework some things.
You have to. And here's, as I was sitting there watching football all day yesterday, it's frustrating because I see everyone running the ball. I see Mississippi State running it all over Tennessee. There's a bunch of teams, and okay, I get it. Our offensive line has been a focal point for several years now, but I'm looking around and seeing some offensive lines that I know aren't levels above what we are. And they're running the ball and they're having success. It's not like, I'm not saying they're putting up 300 yards a game, but somehow teams that I think are, in the same ballpark as us, talent-wise on the offensive line, or even below, are having way more success running the football against good, tough competition than we are.
Got to fix it.
Got to fix it.
That's Ben Arbuckle, Bill Bedenbow, DeMarco Murray, Joe John Finley, Emmett Jones. Like, it involves a good run game, involves everyone. Everyone. And maybe some of the things Michael Hawkins can do as a runner can open the run game up a little bit over these next couple of weeks and build some confidence for when Mateer gets back. We'll see. But you just have to rework it, man. It has not gone particularly well with what they've done up to this point. Yep. We'll see. We'll see if we see anything different against Kent State. I would assume if you're going to make some changes, you ain't showing them against Kent State.
Right.
You're going to hold them for Texas, right? That would be the intelligent coaching decision to make. You can get by with day one install run game against Kent State, but we'll see. I'm as interested as anyone as to what the changes are going to look like.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I mean,
changes need to be made.
and that's it. And, you know, just like on defense, it's the same on offense. Everything is connected. And if you want to really hit your full gear, you got to be able to run the football and apply the pressure to the defense in the looks that they're going to give you that you can now throw against. And to play that back and forth battle is whenever you're really going to open things up and be able to have some success. Like with the deep ball, we haven't hit a whole bunch of deep balls. I think a lot of that is tied to the run.
There's no doubt about it. You got to make teams come out of these deep shell coverages.
Yep.
And they're not going to do that if you can't run the ball. So I'm optimistic. Now, do I think all of a sudden over a bye week in a game against Kent State that they're going to run it all over Texas? No, I do not. I do not think with what we've seen, it's hard for me to come on here and say, hey, we're going to turn this around. We're going to be a great running football team. That's just, I can't say that with what I've seen, which brings me to the next area I think this offense needs to improve. Spreading teams out and throwing it has been what this team has done best. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to continue to be a big piece of what this offense is going to do. You have to get better at empty protection. Whether that's no running back in the backfield or the running back is motioning out of the backfield at the snap, or the running back is in the backfield and free releasing on the snap. We've been really good in empty. It has spread teams out. Mateer, in particular, has been really good with his decision-making when we're playing in empty. I expect the same thing from Hawkins for as many games as he plays. If you're going to do that, if that's going to be a really big piece of what you do, your offensive line has to become a really good empty protection unit. Where are the 5 most dangerous guys? Jake Michael, he needs to understand the formations, the motions that are happening at the snap, the motions that are happening after the snap, the movement. Where are the most dangerous 5 going to be? Not where are they right now as I'm sitting there in my stance. Where are they going to be? And there's a lot that goes into that, but he's a smart guy. There's a lot of smart guys on this offensive line. There have been entirely too many unblocked guys running at John Mateer's face in empty protection.
Yeah.
Where the 5th threat is obvious. That cannot continue to happen. They have to get more dialed in empty protection. And I expect them to be. Because now like, hey, guys, we're really good at this. And now you just have to get even more detailed as an offensive line. Where are the most dangerous 5 going to be? You set differently, especially at tackle, in empty protection. You got to buy yourself some time to make some decisions on who the most dangerous guy is. It just has to get better, and I expect it to get better, Ted.
No, I agree with you 100%. And I don't know, it feels to me like you talked about how good this team is pass pro blocking up front, the O-line. We're pretty good across the board. That, to me, is the hard part. The easy part is being able to study, ID, where you're going, what are teams doing, what has worked against you, get better at knowing what your own weaknesses are. And, if you could just putting yourself in the right spot, pre-snap mentally, and then knowing who you're blocking and communicating all that stuff, the blocking part, you've got down to a pretty good spot. Now it's just figuring out the right guys. And to me, that's usually the easiest part. That's film work and study.
The quarterback also has a role in this.
Yep.
whether it's Hawkins or Mateer, direct the protection where you want it to go. And I know that there's a lot going on for the quarterbacks in this system, but there's nothing more important than getting yourself protected and empty. And one of the most important things for a quarterback to understand in empty protection is where you are not protected. And Mateer's displayed a solid understanding of that. I expect Hawkins to have a good understanding of that. But this is something where it's not just the O-line. Like the O-line and the quarterbacks have to be on the same page in these empty protection concepts. So I think it's been okay. It needs to get better because it's going to be a big piece of what they do offensively.
Yeah. No,
it's
I
the
agree.
best thing we've done on offense.
Yeah.
Is play out of empty.
Yep. Little tempo, not necessarily trying to go super fast, but I guess tempo is maybe not the right word. Rhythm. Whenever we've been in empty, we've been able to settle into a pretty good rhythm. And, that's kind of been like once we can break through and get a first down or two, and you got the defense breathing a little bit, then you can have a little bit more success running the football and getting to some other stuff. But you're right. I that needs to be a big part of what we build on moving forward.
My last thing, and I know, hey, I'm hoping we see Giovanni Gibson against Kent State so that he can get his legs underneath him a little bit before OU Texas, but they seem very encouraged about where he's at coming back. So we'll see what that looks like. But my last thing is this offense, you got to find more ways to get the ball to Jaren Kanak.
100% agree. That was my main point that I had down.
Make it a focus.
That's what I said. Kanak needs to be a feature of this offense, not an accessory.
No doubt.
I feel like he's been an accessory. He's been kind of a bailout guy on some scramble plays, which is great, but it's time to start force feeding this guy the football, and you can hand it to him in the backfield as well. I won't be mad at that.
Kanak, ask him to do less at the point of attack in the run game and use him more as a weapon in the passing game. That's how you maximize him as a player with what he is right now. And I think that Arbuckle will make it a focus to isolate him a little more, where the strength of the formation and everything else is on the other side. Because Jaren Kanak, out of anyone on this offense, no one has done a better job of getting open than Jaren Kanak.
Yep.
So that can improve. Like, lean into that. The guy gets open. All right, let him go get open and throw him the football. It sounds simple.
Yep. I think that his numbers should continue to go up as far as targets and yards. Still hadn't found the end zone yet. I think that's coming, but I'm totally with you. Screens, jet sweeps, line him up in the backfield, hand him the ball. I use him however you want. I think he's capable of doing all those things at a high level.
So my 3 things that need to improve for the offense. Number 1, stop turning it over. Value the football. Number 2, got to get better at quarterback and at the offensive line when it comes to empty protection. And then number 3, get the ball to Jaren Kanak. No one has been better for this team at getting open. Get him the football.
Yep, I agree.
You got anything else offensively?
No, I don't think so. I think everything else is.
I guess I should have mentioned
run game. That's the one that hangs over that everyone. You don't even have to talk about. It
looms over this team like a dark cloud currently.
Right. Yep. That's the unspoken one that everyone already knows about. So.
Okay, so I guess it's 4. It's 4. Number 1, 4 ways for OU's offense to improve. Number 1, stop turning the football over. Cherish the ball. Number 2, make the necessary changes to the run game to where it becomes more efficient. Number 3, get better at empty protection. And number 4, throw the ball to Jaren Kanak. Get that guy the football. No one has been better at getting open for this
There
team.
you go. There you go. It's easy enough list. I mean, I don't think that we have any glaring personnel issues that are going to keep us from hitting all 4 of those and making improvements.
I think that's a great way of putting it. All right, let's recap a couple of just fantastic games in week 5 of college football. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
And head to the garage for hand smashed patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica has launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
South Oval Lager is the NIL beer, and it's more than just that. It's program beer with pride in every sip. South Oval Lager is brought to you by Bagman Beverages, a collaboration between Skydance Brewing and Red and West. It's made by Sooner fans for Sooner fans. Their mission is to build a brand that tastes like tradition while investing in the future. Every South Oval Lager you drink supports NIL in Oklahoma through donations to the Sooner Club. Find it at Skydance Brewing or at any of their local retail partners across Oklahoma. Email drink@bagmanbeverages.com for more information or visit their website, bagmanbeverages.com. South Oval Lager, it's program beer. All right, time to recap the best games of week 5 in college football, and let's start in Oxford. Ole Miss wins it over LSU 24-19, and Ted, let me know if you disagree. This game didn't feel as close as the final score.
Totally agree.
Ole Miss controlled this entire game, essentially. They outgained LSU 480-254, which included outrushing them 166-57. And Trinidad Chambliss looked like the best player on the field for either team.
He's good. He could do it all, man. He's making great throws, reading it out, going through progressions. Was a factor in the run game, explosive plays. He looked really good.
He is going to find himself right in the middle of the Heisman Trophy conversation now.
Yep. I was listening to some post-game stuff later that night, and that's one of the conversations that was going around. Hey, better notice, check the numbers. They're as good as anyone out there.
Caden Lee, remember, he fumbles into the end zone at the 2 or 3 yard line, or else this thing, the final score would have, I think this thing would have looked a lot differently if they didn't have that fumbled in the end zone for a touchback. But you think Brian Kelly's going to answer questions about the offense now?
Maybe. We just talked a lot about, you went through a lot of the ratings for our offense in the run game. I think one of the only teams out there that's worse is LSU right now, which is kind of surprising from where they were a year ago running the football to what's going on now with them.
They just, LSU cannot find a rhythm offensively. OL is struggling struggling to block at a consistent level. Run game isn't there at all. And then Garrett Nussmeier is just flat out missing some throws.
Yep.
And if you're going to be an abysmal running team, your star quarterback can't miss throws in a game like this.
Yep.
And I think this game is a perfect example of the value of a mobile quarterback. Nussmeier is a non-threat as a runner. And then on the other side, Chambliss stresses the defense constantly, whether it's designed QB run game, extending plays with his legs and then delivering the ball down the field, or just like taking off and scrambling. Like, he puts the defense under constant pressure with what he can do with his mobility. Nussmeier gives LSU none of that, and it makes them significantly easier to defend than what LSU's defense was trying to defend with Trinidad Chambliss.
There's no doubt. You typically think defensively, you think of, well, how's your run defense and how's your pass defense? But quarterbacks like Chambliss mix the two together. You're never just defending the pass. Every time, doesn't matter what the down and distance is, doesn't matter what you have called, you're dropping into coverage and everyone's got half of their mind on, is he going to pull it down and run? And what do I do if he does? And it always weighs on you. Those guys like him find a way to, everything is mashed together and it turns into kind of backyard football. That's not what you want on defense. You want everything organized. Like, you know where to fit when it's this, you know where to pass drop when it's that. Everything needs to make sense schematically whenever you look up on a chalkboard. And quarterbacks that could do what he does just throws all of that into chaos. Hard to play defense that way.
With Nussmeier, like, if you're not a threat as a runner, and I understand he was banged up coming into the season, I get that. But if you're not a threat as a runner, you better be throwing darts back there.
Yep.
And that's just not what Garrett Nussmeier is doing currently. And you look at the difference it made offensively that Chambliss could do what he had with his legs. Like, he had 71 yards rushing. And it felt like all of those yards were huge in this game. Nussmeier had -7.
Yeah.
Because he's a non-factor in the run game for them. And
it's something else real quick, like, that doesn't get talked about. For a defense, I cannot stress enough how physically draining it is when a quarterback scrambles and runs. So he's gaining yards on the ground in the box score, yardage up there on the scoreboard. But what it's not telling you is what it's doing to that defensive line, that front seven, those corners having to hang on and chase guys for 10 seconds. You want a defensive play to last like 3 seconds, not 10 or 12. That is a killer, and it wears defenses down, and you hit that breaking point way quicker.
Only other thing from this game is I love a big play tight end, and it seems like Ole Miss's Daquan Wright shows up when they need a play.
Yep.
He's a big athletic dude, man. It felt like nearly all the key plays in the game, it was like, oh, Chambliss has found Daquan Wright. There he goes.
Yeah, we were watching the game at the house, and I kept saying, that looks like a football player right there. That guy is big, athletic. He looks just like a gigantic wide receiver, really, athletically.
I lied. I've got one more thing. I'm not sure if this makes me sound old or not, but Logan Diggs did this. You see it all over college football in the NFL. I do not get the fake hamstring pull touchdown celebration. I don't know the origin of it. I don't know why guys do it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you score a touchdown, you make a great play, and your celebration is to fake like you pulled your hamstrings. I've got nothing. I don't understand how that's become a trend. It makes no sense to me, Ted.
The only the only thing I can even like make sense of is it's a mock of the players that like get beaten coverage and then start, limping off.
I
But other than that, I don't know.
I don't get it. Help us out. Help us out, young people that listen to this. I don't understand it. I don't know why it's a thing. It's perplexing to me.
Yep. Hey, when I don't understand it, oftentimes I don't try to understand it. And this is one of those cases.
It's like you score a touchdown in a huge game. You could, do something signal to your family, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your girlfriend, whatever, and you instead you act like you hurt your hamstring. I don't understand it. I don't get
Just
it at all.
yeah, people are wanting to celebrate, and you're adding a level of anxiety to the situation that does not need to be there.
I Once again, let me know. I don't get it. It baffles me. I got nothing. All right, moving on to the next game. Number 6 Oregon went to Penn State and got it done.
Oof.
30-24 in double overtime. And all I could think about during that first half, Ted, was you and how you're just a defensive sicko. It was 3-3 at halftime. I was like, I bet Ted is loving this garbage.
Honestly, it turned just because of the nature of that game, there wasn't a lot happening. And, it started the same time as the Georgia Alabama game. But since nothing happened, it was like in halftime almost instantly. I it early part of that game just was kind of hard to watch because of what was going on in the Alabama Georgia game at the same time.
It flew by,
Yeah.
and you didn't miss much. I guess great defense, I guess, but I think a lot of Penn State fans are going to wonder, like, hey, where was the team we saw in the fourth quarter the rest of the game?
Yep.
And I think that's a valid question. I don't know if Penn State's players saw Dan Lanning do the "it's over"
Yeah.
gesture or what, but they were a much better football team after they went down 17-3 with like 12 and a half minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They played much better, but it wasn't at the level it needed to be from Drew Aller and that offense for the first 3 quarters of this game. Like, you're at
Yeah.
home, they couldn't get a rhythm going at all. Like, you got to take advantage of that atmosphere early and keep that crowd into it. And it just, I don't know, they fell short in the first 3 quarters, and then something changed in the fourth, but it wasn't good enough early in that game for them offensively.
Felt like they were very risk averse early. And whenever they knew they had to turn it on, they started taking some chances and making some plays and hurting Oregon a little bit. I'm with you. It kind of feels a lot like what the complaints have always been, right? The big game, and is a strategy problem with coming out just trying to feel your way through a football game instead of being super aggressive and going and taking it.
It it was pretty impressive that Oregon ended up winning this game in overtime the way that they did, because Penn State carried all the momentum imaginable into that overtime.
Yep.
And then they take the lead. Like, they score easily in the first overtime, but Oregon just answers. That was like the weirdest shovel pass touchdown I've ever seen. Like, hit his own guy and then backed his way into the end zone. But then they score on the first play, the second overtime, and it was like, wow, they weathered that storm. Like, that's a big time response in that environment, in those circumstances. And then Drew Aller, what are you doing with the ball in that interception? It's not there. The play didn't work. Just throw it away and go to second down. It was a
Yep.
horrible decision from a veteran quarterback. I was stunned he made that throw.
Yeah. Wasn't good. Um, I'm with you, and I don't know. It's almost like they got into a pace of fast paced offense, and that maybe they're not as comfortable with. I don't know how you explain the decision there from Aller. That's a tough one. That's going to hurt them, and I don't know. Like it's crazy because you see that they do have the firepower, but I don't. It's like they're not comfortable playing at that wide open type of style. But I don't know. I'm still very hesitant on Drew Aller. You
Well,
know,
I think
he's
that's a natural reaction, especially when you consider how Dante Moore looked on the other side in this game.
yeah,
It was clear Oregon had the better quarterback, right?
yeah, and I say this a lot. You have you have good quarterbacks that can distribute the football, run the offense, quarterback the game, and then you have playmakers. And I don't feel like Drew Aller is a playmaker. I think he's a guy that runs your offense. That makes sense.
The size of the necklace he wears under his pads also just preposterous.
Right.
I I don't know I don't know how to factor that into the way that he plays, but it's quarterback playing quarterback. It's all about decision making. He's making a poor decision with the necklace size that he's going with under those pads. But Dante Moore's the story of this game. 29 of 39, 248, three touchdowns, no interceptions, uses his legs when he needs to, does a really good job of extending plays. There's just no doubt in my mind that guy is going to be right in the mix when it comes to the conversation for the number one pick of the 2027 NFL draft.
Yeah. Probably right.
Now, if he keeps really balling out, I'm pretty sure he's draft eligible this year, but I think Oregon, I think Phil Knight will get him to come back for another season, and he'll be one of those guys that possibly the face of college football this season and next season. Like he's got that type of talent.
Yeah. And hey, he keeps winning big games like that. I don't think there's anyone else really across the country that's jumped up and grabbed the Heisman race, and taken a real strong lead. I mean, a lot of people had Mateer there, but he's going to have some time down with the thumb, and I who knows what happens. I do want to ask you one question. Did you see the play that they reviewed for targeting late?
Yes, and I liked that they didn't call targeting. The guy's face was up.
Okay,
Sometimes you smash another dude in the face in football.
here's my problem with it. If 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 this rule is for safety, I just don't know how you can not call that a targeting and call a targeting whenever someone just happens to brush the quarterback's helmet. Those
Yes,
they just
it's a
they
stupid rule. We talk about
they
it all the time
don't
out here.
do not match up. And I know what a defenseless player is. I know the difference, but it just shows me that it's not about safety. It can't be if you see that play and then see another play that is called targeting. I mean, did the crowd, I mean, like they're talking about the 6 inch, like if it's a quarter of an inch down on his helmet, is it targeting as opposed to not targeting? You know what I'm saying? Like that, it doesn't match up. It's
No,
not. So stop telling me that it's about player safety. It's
I'm
not.
thought I think that's a perfectly natural reaction to it. I was glad they didn't call it targeting. The guy's catching it. He's going to the ground. The guy's trying to strike him low. He's not launching, trying to take his head off. He goes low. The guy's going down, and you have incidental helmet to helmet contact. That's football, man. That happens. Was it extremely violent and in slow motion? Did it look
My
awful?
God. It
Oh,
like
yeah.
pushed his helmet all the way, like almost I don't know if his face mask maybe even hit his like face. Whoo, that was
Let's
nasty.
watch some spine compression in slow motion, people. Yeah.
Good night. That was,
But
I mean,
that
it's brutal, but that's my point is like, that is a straight helmet to helmet hit that is incredibly dangerous for both guys. And no targeting, but you go in there and brush the quarterback. Whatever. Already said all. Already made my case.
the rules official was on it. Credit to that guy. He was like, nope, not targeting. And
In a game like this, in this moment, no way that's targeting. Yeah.
that's
In a blowout game, then yeah, that's probably
I
targeting.
I thought you were going to ask me about the Whittington fumble where I guess his knee grazed the blade of grass and took that off the board. If you're a Penn State fan and you're trying to cope with the loss, that's the play you're looking at going, we got screwed. Because that ball got returned to like the 50.
Yeah.
Oregon ends up going and scoring on that drive. I think it made it 10-3. If you're a Penn State fan, you're going, what? Like his knee brushed the blades of grass. He's down. Are we sure? Like that's a tough one.
That's the rule. And I think it kind of has to be that way. But my goodness, how often do we say it's a game of inches?
That's the perfect example.
My gosh, that was, I mean, just get the mower out, trim that grass down a little bit. It cost you a football game.
No kidding. The only other thing on this game, are we worried about how Dan Lanning was after the game?
I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't see that.
He was like, it looked like he was profusely sweating. He was like having a hard time to catch his breath. I know he was like amped up and juiced, but man, like, hey, Dan, maybe just calm down a little bit. I don't know, dude. It was his post game interview on the field
About to
was
pass out.
I don't know. It looked like he just needed to let out some primal screams and like calm down or something. But it was, I saw someone said that if cocaine was a football coach, this is what it would look like. Dude, he was amped.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully he made it out of the interview okay.
He did.
Oregon's a pretty good football team, man.
Uh, you're gonna have a tough time convincing me they can't win it all.
Yep, I agree.
I was shocked they wore the jerseys they were. No green, no yellow, very understated. I was when I turned it on, I was like, wait, what? Like I could not believe it.
I agree. Which brings me to another question I had. Um, shouldn't shouldn't Penn State wear the whites in the whiteout?
They bring it up every year. Remember, it's the away team's choice.
Oh, it's the away team's choice.
Yeah, because hey, Mississippi State. I think we'll talk about that game in winners and losers.
Yep.
Mississippi State was in all white for their whiteout.
It was awesome.
Tennessee was in all orange. Looked great.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure it's Tennessee's, like that was Tennessee's choice, which good job, Josh Heupel, letting the other team wear their whites for their whiteout. Nice job.
Huh. So they can ask, but you have to, okay.
I believe so. Believe that's how it works. If there's any equipment guys, it was like National Equipment Manager Appreciation Week. If there's any equipment guys that listen to this, let us know if we're wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Was quite the setting though. That was awesome.
Yeah. But anything else on Oregon Penn State? I think two teams that are going to be undoubtedly in the mix when it comes to the college football playoff and the national championship picture.
Yep, I agree.
Ooh, I did take a screenshot of this. 1 second. This is great podcasting. Here we go. James Franklin, 1-15 versus top 5 opponents.
Dang.
4-21 versus top 10 opponents. 15-30 versus top 25 opponents.
Wow.
I picked Penn State to win the game, and I feel silly that I did.
It's one of those talking points that everyone has, clamored about for years now, and it continues to be true.
All right, let's get to our last game. Alabama went to Athens, and unless my eyes were lying to me, were the much better football team and controlled that game.
Another one where the score doesn't feel like what you watched, you know? Really close game down the stretch. Georgia had some good momentum, through the third quarter. And, we're moving the ball and it felt like they were going to make a game of it. But Alabama continued to answer, and that passing game is rolling, brother.
It is fun to watch. Maybe my favorite offense to watch in college football right now. Ryan Grubb has some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they set the tone right away in this game was, I don't want to say shocking, but I was sitting there going, dang. I mean, I knew because my whole thought process going into this game was Georgia doesn't lose at home. These teams are pretty equal, or Georgia's a little more talented. They'll be more physical. Like, I knew I was on the wrong side of this one right away because it was Georgia 3-and-out, 14-play drive, touchdown, Bama. Georgia 4-and-out, 14-play drive, touchdown, Bama. I was like, well,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially after what I know Georgia won the game against Tennessee, but seeing some of the chunks they were giving up in the passing game, like that was the big worry coming in. See if they've tuned any of that up. And the way Bama has been throwing the ball coming in, whenever you saw the way that they were slinging it around the yard, it was like, I don't know, man. It's going to be hard to all of a sudden get your hands around what they're doing on offense.
I think the only way you could be more excited as a Bama fan about what they did offensively is if Caden Proctor would have scored on the big man screen.
That was pretty cool.
It was like a runaway beer truck, man. It was awesome. Now, little aside, no reason for that guy to be 359 pounds. Get lighter, dude. What are we doing? Come on.
Yep.
Do you want to be a first round pick or not? Get lighter. Come on. What are we even talking about? But still, awesome play.
Very cool. Yep. Look good. Yeah, and how good was Ty Simpson?
Dude, he can sling it. I've been
He
telling
could
you.
sling it, was athletic, made some plays with his legs. He looked really good.
That offense is awesome. It is a great mix of college stuff and pro stuff. Did you notice how much
they looked like Washington again,
Yeah, did you notice how much they snapped the ball under center?
Yeah.
Alabama is undoubtedly the best play action pass team in college football. It's not close. And it's because they snap the ball under center and run play action pass. They run it from under center and then they run play action concepts that look exactly like the runs from under center. And you can see the defense just get sucked up to the line of scrimmage. It's not that hard. I do not understand why every team in college football doesn't snap the ball under center. It's crazy to me.
I don't know. It's a battle I fought for a long time, and I had to retire from that one. It was too stressful.
But hey, Ty Simpson's fun to watch now.
He is. I like. He's got a little something to him. He's got some competitiveness to him, but he delivers that ball. Their offense is fun, man. You feel like there's at any moment chunk plays are going to happen, and they're not all like a lot of people have. Like the big plays come by the deep ball. That's not the case with Alabama. They work the middle of the field, like the mid-level passing game is excellent.
This felt like a really close and competitive game late, and it was just weird. There were no points scored for the final 21 minutes and 30 seconds of this game.
Yeah.
Georgia scored a touchdown with 6:30 to go in the third, and that was the last score. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think if you're Georgia and you're looking at it, you're going, hey, we were right there, but the missed opportunities late killed us. Like Taylor, you can't drop a go-ahead touchdown right down the middle of the field. You got to catch that ball and score, man. Like, Gunnar Stockton couldn't have walked and handed the ball to you at a better spot.
Yeah.
You got to
Who
make that
was it for
play.
Alabama dropped a perfect deep ball too,
Early,
right?
Ron
Yeah.
Williams, yeah. Now they went and scored on that drive,
Yep.
but yes, that was a beautiful throw, and he's had a bit of a case of the drops.
I mean, it was right here. I was like, dang. But you're right. Especially down the stretch, whenever the intensity's cranked up and you have to make plays, can't do it.
But yeah, it should have been 28-24 Georgia with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. That's a play that Taylor, you got to make that play. And then I think the play that'll be probably at the center of the discussion for Georgia fans will be the 4th and 1 early in the fourth quarter. I had no problem with them going for it. I know you can kick the field goal there and tie the game. I like Kirby's aggressiveness and playing to win, but going tempo and they just it looked frantic. They just handed to Cash Jones. It was just a really really strange just decision, not from a going for it standpoint, but just the way they went about it. I didn't mind them going for it, but the style and the manner in which they went for it was very strange for Georgia.
I agree. And it reminds me of the Auburn late fourth down where they go for it, but they don't like they end up, taking a timeout into the locker room from a 2-minute drive. It's kind of the same thing they did against us, where you have like a disjointed fourth down that you got to convert. I mean, I understand if you're rolling using tempo and everything to your advantage, but like some pivotal moments like that, if you're a little scattered, let's just slow down and make sure we got the right play. The last thing we want to do is give up the football, especially if it's the end of the game in Auburn's case. But I'm with you. I thought you were going to say the play that's going to be talked about was the piling on play late.
The Superman full send onto the pile for a 15-yard penalty.
Sin.
I, Herb Street got after him on the call. He was like, "What are you doing?"
I know. That's tough. You do not want to be the guy on the sideline that they keep cutting to in the broadcast.
Never want to be that guy. The story of the game, like if you can sum this game up in one stat, though, it's Bama on third down.
Yeah.
13-19. Georgia's defense just couldn't get off the field, man. And Ty Simpson, and some of those are 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8, and Ty Simpson's just ripping it.
Yeah.
So they were incredible on third down, and that's how you go beat Georgia in Athens. That's what it looks like, man. That's how you have to go and play. And what's that? Their first loss at home in like 6 years.
Yeah. Another thing, kind of a tangent here, but maybe it's way better in person. I was kind of underwhelmed by Georgia's stadium.
I've never heard anyone be like, dude, Sanford Stadium, crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of their reputation.
Yeah, and just the way that it's built, I don't know.
We haven't been there, so I can't really comment.
I agree. I guess maybe it was the contrast of having both of those games on TV and seeing the whiteout at Penn State and then seeing, that stadium is awesome. And then seeing Georgia's, I don't know, just something I noticed in the game.
Yeah, I think that's a fair observation. Last thing on this game, Kirby Smart is now 1-7 against Alabama.
It's crazy, man.
Including 2 losses to Kalen DeBoer. These are just facts.
Yeah, and Kalen DeBoer's he had a strong trend of a James Franklin like record against ranked opponents and all that stuff, and he needed that one big time, and that is going to get some people off his back quite a bit. But and I've thought this since all the way back to SEC media, listening to Kirby Smart sensing that maybe there's some weakness of that Georgia football team this year, and I think they're beatable.
Well, clearly,
Yeah, I guess I'm saying
there are it's not just Bama that can get them.
right.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like and I don't have their schedule pulled up, but I feel like they're a much higher risk of losing on a given weekend than they have been in years.
yeah, they feel like a two-loss team, maybe a three-loss team,
Yep.
depending on how some of the coin flip situations at end of games go for them. But yeah, impressive stuff from Alabama. They
No doubt.
have the they have risen from the ashes of the Florida State opener like a phoenix, and they are soaring. It is, I mean, it's impressive.
And they were a favorite at kickoff, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I feel like someone told me that they were right before kickoff. They
That's
had switched.
hard for me to believe, but
That's kind of how I was, but I was like, okay, wow. Well, I don't know.
don't listen to everyone.
No, that's true.
All
That's
right,
true.
let's finish up with our winners and losers of the weekend. But first, for all of us Sooners, there comes a time when we need help. We need someone to fight for us, and that Sooner is Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. If you are battling cancer or any other life-threatening condition and your insurance carrier is either slow playing or outright denying your treatment, use the law to get the medical care you need. Marr Law Firm believes you shouldn't have to fight your insurance company while also fighting for your life. Go to see Jeff Marr at the Marr Law Firm. They turn victims of insurance bad faith into champions. And three things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise, it's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. And go to outlasted.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's outlasted.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. As always, Ted, kicks off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Man, I don't know as a football team if there's anything better than bouncing back, and Illinois got their butts whipped a week ago on the road at Indiana and had to come home and face a USC team that was rolling pretty good offensively, and they got the dub. I thought they were going to run away with the football game early, but USC, credit them, they bounced back, and this ended up being a great football game. Illinois wins it with a late field goal. What a win. That's impressive bounce back by those guys.
There's no doubt about it, man. Now, if they wouldn't have fumbled going into the end zone there for the touchback in the fourth quarter, like, this is a much more comfortable win for Illinois.
No doubt.
They were the better football team throughout this game. If you watch it, I watched pretty much every snap of it. And it's the same story for USC defensively. And I know they've got some guys that are banged up, but they're just not very good on defense, man. They gave up 503 yards of offense to an Illinois group that could not block Indiana last week. Couldn't do hardly anything offensively. And they ran it well, and Altmaier had all day in the pocket for the most part. And when that guy has time, he's legit.
20 of 26. Pretty efficient.
Pretty good.
Yep.
So an impressive bounce back from Illinois' offensive line group. That group had been getting beat up pretty good, and they controlled this football game. I was impressed. You're right. It's not easy to come back from getting embarrassed the way that they did a week ago. And I think it says a lot about the guys in that locker room and the program that Brett Bielema's got there at Illinois. It's impressive.
Yeah. And I think it was big for them to take that first drive right down the field and score a touchdown. Impressive drive. Just kind of
shoved it down their face.
Yeah, get the gorilla off your back from last week and get some confidence and go out and play well. It's going to be one of those where they look at it and they're going to say, guys, great win, but uh, we got to finish people. We had the opportunity to finish USC and let them hang around, and it almost cost you. So, yeah, that was an awesome win. Big one. And I mean, the James Franklin stat that you talked about, it's starting. Lincoln Riley's piling some of those up himself.
USC fans seem over it. But
That's one that you had to win, right? I mean, you just
at
I'm not
Illinois
saying he
after
gets
they
fired.
got destroyed by Indiana, yeah, that's one. If you're a contender in any way, you go win that football game.
I agree.
And it wasn't as close as the final score the way that I watched that game. Like I thought Illinois was just better on both sides of the ball, really. Now, Mekhi Lemon's a ball player, boys.
Yeah.
That guy makes plays. Impressive.
Yep.
He good. But I
player.
thought Illinois was the better team throughout the game, and they kind of just almost blew it late in the fourth quarter with that fumble.
No. Turnovers, right? That's
Yeah.
what we were talking about with Oklahoma. Turnovers are the great equalizer. They either take a game that you're absolutely dominating and make it really close because you're turning it over, or they take a close game and make it a blowout because you're taking advantage and turning someone else over. And it's the biggest stat in football always. But Illinois, credit them, big win.
Nice bounce back from the Illini. All right, who do you have as your loser of the weekend?
This was so hard to watch. Mississippi State, they had it. I thought in the fourth quarter, I thought they were about to just blow it open and absolutely steamroll Tennessee for the last quarter of that football game. How Tennessee walked off that field with the win, I have no idea. I felt like they got beat from beginning to end.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
They scored twice on defense.
Turnovers?
They scored twice. Now, it's kind of crazy to score twice on defense and have to go to overtime to win the game.
I know it.
But yeah, they scored twice on defense. That'll do it, man. There are just so many things in this game. The end of regulation. Tennessee throws a Hail Mary. It's way short. The guy just drops it. Like, catch it and go run. And all you got to do is beat the offensive lineman and you go score. There were just so many things for Lebby and Mississippi State. This one, it felt like one they should have had, man.
I know it.
Even the overtime, the ball hits the guy in the hands and the end zone. Catch the ball. It's not an easy catch. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's easy, but catch the ball and hit you right in both hands.
Yeah. It was tough, man. It was so brutal because, like I said, man, to me, I mean, Mississippi State just gashing Tennessee in the run game, throwing the ball all over the yard. It was a lot of fun to watch.
There's no doubt about it. Lebby, I'm sure he's very annoyed that they didn't win the game, but he's got to be very, very encouraged by a lot of what they did, especially offensively. What they run for, like 198?
Yeah,
and 3 touchdowns. Fluff Bothwell can play. The guy's name is Fluff, which is I don't know how that happens, but you could be named Fluff if you run it the way that dude runs it.
No doubt. Yep, he had 23 for 134 and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, and Aguilar I thought was okay, but I mean, it just a lot of missed throws out there. Some questionable decisions.
Had a couple just get knocked up into the air and intercepted.
Yeah. But we talked about it earlier, though. That dude is a hell of a wide receiver.
He's in the conversation for best in the country. He had, 105 and a touchdown, and that was with a 60-yard touchdown taken off the board. He got called for OPI, and I disagreed with the call.
Yeah, I did too. In live play, I thought it looked like he pushed the guy to the ground. But when they came back and showed the replay of it, I was like, ooh, got away with one there.
So
Got away with one there.
I mean, he had a 60-yard touchdown taken off the board. He's impacting games at the wide receiver position more than maybe any other wide receiver in the country. Like
Yep.
that dude makes plays. And Aguilar, to his credit, just kind of 2 or 3 times a game just says, hey, 17's down there. Here we go.
He's already got 7 touchdowns, 531 on 31 receptions. Playing some really, really good ball.
Anything else from that game other than heartbroken for our guy Levy?
Heartbroken for Levy, heartbroken for those fans. That place was an absolute party in the third and into the fourth quarter. Like I said, I thought they were about to just steamroll Tennessee in the fourth quarter, but credit Hype for coming out of there with a win. I mean, that's one where you get on the bus, sit down, and like, whew, how did we win that football game?
Yeah, but
that's what good teams do, though.
And that would have been a huge loss for them.
Yep.
But I know Mississippi State fans are undoubtedly disappointed that they didn't finish that game off and get the win. But they have to be so pleased with the progress that they've seen under Jeff Levy.
No doubt.
Compare them to what they were a year ago to what they are now. Like Mississippi State is no longer an easy out, man. You can't look at MSU on the schedule anymore and go, oh, easy win. That's over. They have proven, like, if you're playing them, you better be ready to go. You better play at a high level or you're going to get beat.
Yeah, they have 5 top 25 teams left on their schedule, unfortunately. They got 9 A&M next. They got number 10 Texas at home. They got number 5 Georgia at home. Ole Miss, Missouri. They've got a tough schedule, but I think they're going to win a couple of those.
Mississippi State may be the team in the SEC that determines what the college football playoff looks like.
Yeah. Yep. They're gonna clip a team or two that are in the fight for sure.
That's how it feels, man. Definitely how it feels. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first, this fall, Poncho's got you covered with classics like denim and flannels to new styles like the Western polo and tough thread. Comfortable, durable, and versatile for whatever the season brings. Poncho's denim shirt is great. It's my new go-to denim shirt. Going to be a fall fashion staple for me. I love this thing. And Poncho's flannels are the perfect medium weight, and they have a nice stretch to them. You can never have too many great flannels. You guys know how that goes. Poncho listened to their customers, and they have launched the Western Polo. This thing is a versatile shirt. Go get you one. You'll wear it a ton. And Poncho offers free shipping and free returns because they want you in a shirt that you love. Gear up for fall with Poncho. Every piece is built for comfort, performance, and lasting style. Go to ponchooutdoors.com/OKBreakdown and enter your email for $10 off your first order. That's PONCHO outdoors.com/OKBreakdown for $10 off and free shipping. And when they ask you how you heard about them, let them know the Oklahoma Breakdown sent you. It really helps support the show. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. We all make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. And it's so simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks is also the best way to get action on sports in more than 40 states, and they put their users first. All withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure, and they also offer injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the Prize Picks app and use code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code OKBreakdown to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. All right, for my winner of the weekend, Europe. Europe. It's
Yeah.
it it was a beat down at Bethpage Black, Ted. Now, we are recording this before the 12 singles matches are even played, but Europe has the largest lead ever with this modern format at 11.5 to 4.5 heading into the singles matches. So I don't anticipate the Americans rattling off 10 wins in
Is that what
those.
they got to do? They've
You got to get to 14.5 to win.
got to pretty much run the table.
Got to get 10 points. Seems highly unlikely. And let's just be real,
Got
man.
to win 10 of 12.
It's not going to happen. It's just not. We don't have to live in a fantasy land. Now, if the United States has the most shocking day in the history of golf today, and I have to come back here on Wednesday and say, I was wrong, I'm an idiot, I would love that. Don't think it's going to happen.
Gladly.
It's hard. It's hard to say they were better than us at everything, but that's just the truth, dude. Everything. They were better than us at everything. Like it seemed like every time we hit a good shot, they hit their ball closer to the hole.
Right.
It was crazy. And Keegan Bradley's going to get a lot of criticism because that's what happens when you're the captain of the Ryder Cup team and you get smoked the way that they're getting smoked. But the dude should have been playing. He shouldn't be the captain. He's one of our best. We've got one of our best golfers sitting there doing nothing when he should be out there playing. Now, the decision to send Harris English and Colin Morikawa out there again against Rory and Fleetwood was insane. That was crazy. Maybe he was just like, "Hey, we got to sacrifice somebody to these two. Here you go."
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, he'll get some criticism for his decisions. But the bottom line is, the Europeans were just lights out, dude. Lights out.
Yep. I mean, what are you gonna say other than you got to go play better? I mean, you can't pin it on I don't know matchups and all that is a factor, but I mean,
dude, you got people going, "What? Why was the course set up the way it was? This is a disgrace. Like you're hardly getting punished if they hit it into the rough." And the Europeans just hit some of the most absurd shots you've ever seen from bad positions in the first 3 sessions and in the fourth session. Like Rahm is standing in a bunker. The ball's like 6 feet above his feet and he makes it. Are you kidding me? Like there were just some of those where you're just like, this is insane, dude. But I guess I could come on here and say they need to make Bethpage Black for this, and that would have made a difference. Dude, they're just better than us. I don't know what to say. They're just better at everything. Putting,
I don't know,
getting
like
out of jams, like everything, dude.
I don't know how to like golf is not my thing, but it seems like
Oh, golf's your thing. Don't lie. Come on, you love golf.
it seems to me like if they're hitting better shots than you on the course the way it's set up now, the last thing you would want to do is make the course more difficult. But I don't know.
I
I could be wrong there.
Some people are like, oh, well, the Europeans would have been punished more for bad tee shots. Like, dude, they were better at everything. Now
Yeah,
I
so
do.
would the Americans would have been punished more for bad tee shots as well. Like they play the same course.
Correct. Now we do need to. Hey, the guys that played well, like Cameron Young, great job, dude. Local guy came to play, represented well. Bryson DeChambeau, great job, man. Wish you would have fought Fleetwood on that green. That's the only way you could have done better. I like you sticking up for your caddy. Don't let Justin Rose yell at your caddy. I like it. Let him know you didn't like it. That's fine. Good. Just a couple men talking. I like a little controversy in my Ryder Cup. But other than that, I mean, Scotty Scheffler, you're the best player in the world. No one's going to debate that. You got to be lights out if you're the best player in the world and set the tone for the team. You can't go over, dude.
Yeah.
And that's one of those where it's like, oh, well, sometimes you just get beat. 4 times when you're the best player in the world, you get beat 4 times. I mean, you got to go out there and be the best player in the world. The other guys are playing lights out. You got to go be better than them because you are better than them. Go be more lights out more. I don't know how to phrase it, but go do that.
Yeah. Well, uh,
Dude, it was a beatdown. It was hard to watch. And I got up every morning and from the opening tee shot, watched every shot that they showed. For some reason, the coverage isn't showing every shot in the Ryder Cup, which makes no sense. It's absurd. What are we doing? But I invested hours and hours of the first 2 days, and I was just like, well, kind of feels like a waste of time. And that made me sad.
are you going to do the same today? Cameron Young, Justin Rose set the tee off at 11:02.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Okay. Yeah, I am. Just because I think it's an incredible event. I really do. And I hate that it gets lost. Uh, like the Saturday and Sunday just kind of get lost because of football. But it's awesome. I love the Ryder Cup. I do not like watching it when we're getting absolutely smoked on our own soil. Makes me
Well,
sad, Ted. I'm sad.
the reason you watch sports is because you want to see something special happen. So maybe something special happens today. Crazier things have happened. So it's not over till it's over.
I there's gonna be a lot of discussion about the crowd and how they treated Rory and Shane Lowry and all that stuff. It's New York, man. What'd you expect? You knew what you signed up for, guys. Come on. I mean,
And,
come on. Come on.
you know, I hear this all the time. It's like, what do you care? And do you hear the things that people say to and about football players online and in stadiums? You're going to have a very hard time making me feel sorry for you because of what fans are saying. I
I
mean, that's just kind of how it is.
I will say, like, if you're Rory McIlroy and someone's saying stuff about your wife, I can just speak from experience, and this is true. There's only been one time in my life. My wife is a very nice person. Very few people don't like her. The one time someone said something where I was like, "Excuse me, what did you say?" I did not handle it well. And this is the truth. It was from a woman, and I told that woman whose significant other was sitting right next to her, say it again, and he's gonna pay for it. So like I get like if someone's saying stuff about your wife, like I get it. I totally get it. I get that. But yeah, you knew that was coming, right?
Yeah. My thing is, it's like if you don't want someone saying that, to go make an example.
Well, dude, maybe the coolest moment of the entire tournament is Rory stepping off the ball and turning around and going, "Would you guys shut the F up?" And then he steps up to the ball and puts it to 3 feet, and then they win that match. I was like, oh my gosh. I mean,
That is pretty good.
dude, I was just like, that's so cool. Dang it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're lights out. My last thought on the Ryder Cup. We have, we being the United States of America, greatest country on earth, we have too many calm, quiet guys on our squad. We need more killers. Hovland is the nicest guy in the world, but in this setting, he's a psycho. Robert McIntyre looks like the least intimidating golfer on the planet. And he's just yelling and fist pumping and giving it to the crowd. And we've got Henley and English and Morikawa out there just too calm, too nice. Give me Chris Goddard. Give me Taylor Gooch. Give me guys that are going to play with some fire and yell and cuss and like this. This is not a golf tournament. This is a sports competition. There's a big difference. Staying calm, cool, and collected over the 3 days is not what I want.
It's probably what's given the Europeans the edge because of battling with the crowd. It's probably lighting the competitive fire, you know?
Well, if Rory McIlroy is any indication, yeah. It's like it seems like the more they talked to him, the better he played. It was crazy. But just give me some more guys with some juice, man.
Yeah.
More guys. So we go over to Europe in 2 years. We need to send a couple villains that people don't like. Like, seriously, send Gooch over there. He's got no problem assuming that role. Send him. Like, do it. I just, I hate that we get smoked in this event. And I know there's a lot more people in Europe than there are in the United States when you look at populations and all that stuff. I get it. But come on, man. We shouldn't be
Who's the
getting worked like this on our home soil. This is embarrassing.
who's the guy? I can't believe I can't think of his name. Uh, at least for a while, no one liked him. Everyone couldn't stand the guy. Won the Masters.
Patrick Reed.
Yes.
Send Captain America back. Let's do it.
Yes. Yep.
I need some people that are fine with other people not liking them. And they like that feeling.
Build on it. Yeah.
That's give me Patrick Reed, give me Taylor Gooch. Guys that these last couple of years people have just been dunking on for whatever reason. I don't really just give me those guys that aren't going to give an F over there and let's go win.
I like it.
Too many nice guys, too many quiet guys. That's my analysis of the US Ryder Cup team right there. And give me, we got to set all the stuff aside. Give me Phil Mickelson as the captain. What are we doing? We all know he's the best guy for it. Come on. I get the live and PGA and all that stuff. I get, hey, John Rahm is a live guy. Tyrrell Hatton's a live guy. They've seemed to figure it out.
Yeah.
With the live piece. There's no reason. We need Mickelson, man. If Tiger doesn't want to do it, I don't get why Tiger doesn't want to do it. But if he doesn't want to do it, that's his choice. Give me Phil Mickelson as the captain in 2027. We got to stop playing around with this, dude. We're getting embarrassed. I don't like it.
I'm with you.
I watched a lot of Ryder Cup.
Hey, I'm going to go turn it on right now. And like I said, hopefully something special happens. You never know.
Loser of the weekend. Give me the Florida State Seminoles.
Woo!
Everyone was saying it could be a trap game. Suspiciously small line. And everyone was right. Florida State goes to Virginia on a Friday night and gets beat 46-38 in double overtime. What'd you think of the call of incomplete? I thought it was a catch.
You did?
I did because now Deuce Robinson had just a fantastic game. So I hate that this is the story of the game for Florida State and for him. But let me know if you disagree, which sounds like you do. But I think the ball can be moving and you have control of the ball. And that's how I felt. I was like, he's got control of the ball. The ball is moving, but he's got control of it. Like the ball is secured. It's just moving.
You know, I only saw it in I was at my son's football game and I was watching it over some guy's shoulder on a cell phone. And when I first saw it, I was like, "What? Wait a second. That wasn't ruled a catch. How is that possible?" And then when I went back and watched it, I watched the close up on TV later, and I just saw him let go of the ball. But I didn't really spend any time. I was like, "Oh, that's what they saw," and then I was on. But now I agree with you. If I think probably what hurt him is that he bobbled it 10 times before that.
There's a lot of bobbles. You're right.
If that wouldn't have,
but it was ruled a touchdown on the field. That's where I was like, Like if I was a Florida State fan, if this were to happen to OU, that's always how I look at these situations. I would have been very upset because I thought, hey, is there clear, definitive evidence that he lost complete control of the ball? And it was cool though. The ACC, you could hear the entire conversation between the ref and the replay people, which was really cool. We should get more of that. That was awesome transparency by them. And they all agreed, no catch. So, but I don't know. It's just a really tough way to lose a football game, man.
It is. Yeah. It's hard to ignore. Like there was a bunch of good stuff in that football game, but the explosive nature of the crowd rushing the field is something I've never seen in my life. Instantly.
Those Virginia students were on the field before the ball hit the ground.
It was like the ball was in the air coming into that was wild. It was pretty funny. I mean, Uh, I've
We
never
all were
seen anything
concerned
like
for
that.
Squirrel White, the Florida
Just
State wide receiver.
disappeared instantly into a sea of people.
It was like, this is how Mufasa dies in Lion King.
It's I don't even know. Like you're on the road and instantly you're smothered by people. It's hard to get your bearings as to where exactly do you need to go. How do I get out of here?
I that had to be an uncomfortable situation.
No doubt.
I I've said this many times on here. There were several Virginia students getting in Tommy Castellano's face, guy flipping him off and filming it. Players should be allowed to punch those people in the face. I want to go on the record to say that again.
I agree. They it's not a safe situation when you have, you know, 10,000 like whatever the number of people running out there is, and there's like a one-sided we can do whatever we want and you can't touch us. That's not a good environment.
It should not be that way.
No.
I would have liked to see that Virginia fan get punched in the face. I'm just going to be honest. That's just how I feel. But
Right.
I Chandler Morris, man, it's been such a journey for this guy in college football. I'm always cheering for him, and he is fun to watch. Uses his legs. Had what, like 3 rushing touchdowns in this game, and then he rips it, man. Now sometimes he rips it in the wrong spot, but he is gonna rip it no matter what. He takes risks with the football. He's wildly entertaining to watch play college football. I really enjoy watching him play. I'm never going to be bored when Chandler Morris is playing quarterback in a game.
What's crazy is that guy scored the last touchdown for Oklahoma in the last conference championship game we won. And that seems like an eternity ago. It kind of was 2020. A year at Oklahoma, 3 at TCU, a year at North Texas, and a year at Virginia. What a journey. Is that crazy?
I'm glad I'm getting to watch him.
I
Dude,
know it.
he's super fun. The fact that Deuce Robinson bobbled that ball and that has become the talking point of the game saved Tony Elliott. Did you see what happened in the second overtime?
Remind me.
They score. It's the second overtime, Ted. It's college football. What do you have to do
Oh
now in the second
yeah,
overtime?
that's right. They
You
they
got to
should
go
have
for
been
two.
right. They should have been called right for a delay game.
They sent the PAT unit out. How you make that mistake is insane. And Mike Norvell was going crazy on the sideline, and he should have been. Like they reset the play clock for him for sending the wrong group of guys onto the field. I don't know why the refs did that for him.
But they should have just let him kick it. Why raise a fuss?
Is it a penalty if you let him kick it? Is it? It's got to be, right?
It should just be a not a no good 2 point conversion try.
Dang, dude. What happens if the refs would have let him set up and kick it and they go, the 2 point conversion's no good?
That's what should have happened in my opinion.
I hadn't even thought of it that way. You're right. That they should have just, but the refs didn't, the refs got in the way.
Right.
That this is a change. Ted, I think you just single-handedly changed college football officiating. If you're dumb enough to not know the rules and you send your PAT group out in the second overtime, the officials should let you kick the ball, and then they should say the 2 point attempt is no good.
That's right. They don't do that with any other play.
Dude, now, if there's going to be some Florida State fans hear this and they're like, why did we not do that?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's my first reaction to it. If you kick it, it's just good job. Doesn't count. Florida State football.
Dude, you're right. That's great. I love that. That not knowing that you have to go for two in the second overtime for a head coach in college football is inexcusable. It is.
However, in their slight defense, I will say that that can happen when you change the overtime rules yearly for like the last 10 years.
Fair. Fair. But there's also Tony Elliott's got a guy. You have a
Yeah.
guy. You have an
Where's the
operations
guy?
guy. You got a guy that's going, hey, we have to go for two in the second overtime. Where was his guy? Where was Tony Elliott's guy?
Well, you got to imagine it when you get to overtime, there's a quick 10-second conversation. Okay, guy, here's the layout, right? Here's what we're up against. If it comes to this, but I'm sure they'll be covering that this week.
Florida State, Miami next.
I'm still, you know what? Tell me what you think, because I feel like Florida State is good, but I think they're still like kind of massively overrated, even going into that game. I just didn't, because we're saying like it's all off of really one. I mean, I guess they've looked good where they should have. I don't know. I guess I was just very hesitant to pull the trigger and just be like, okay, yeah, they won 2 games last year and now they're great. They're going to be a top. That was just a hard leap for me, I guess. But maybe they
I'm
still
with you.
win a bunch of games.
I watched Florida State's offense versus Kent State's defense earlier this week, and I was pretty underwhelmed by Florida State along the line of scrimmage. So I was not shocked at all when Virginia won this game.
Yeah. They got after Castellanos in the pocket quite a bit.
Yeah. Florida State's got a no-line problem.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to go well for them against Miami because I don't think Miami has an O-line or D-line problem. I think they're very good up front.
Yeah. Bain is good enough for everyone. How about the play, though, to force overtime? How crazy was that?
It's great. This is a great game, man.
It was great. Yeah.
I mean, if you could sign me up for a phenomenal Friday nighter every time I can get one, it's fantastic. It's a great way to kick off the weekend when you get a really good Friday nighter like this one.
Yep, I agree. Good stuff.
Birthday shout outs. Happy 14th birthday to Cameron Bailey.
Happy birthday to Brittany Never Miss a Show Haskins.
Happy birthday to Megan Stein.
Happy birthday to the new Miss Brooke Lindsay.
And we got a first.
Okay.
Here we go. First gender reveal we've ever been asked to do in podcast history.
Ooh.
Austin Stewart reached out to us. And he'd like for us to let his beautiful wife know that they are having a boy.
Wow.
Congratulations, Stewarts.
Amazing.
Congratulations.
She doesn't know, and now she does?
That's what the email said.
I don't know how I feel about just thrusting that amount of responsibility onto our show. You know, that's a big deal.
There's no way I wrote it down wrong. Let me double check. That'd be very bad. Austin Stewart. Okay, here it is.
We could just wing that part of it. That's not an important part.
No, here we go. She watches this show religiously. Honey, it's a boy. Right here. I got the email right there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
you two. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
On this note, are we good? I guess shout outs now. You could do gender reveals if you want.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a first. I like it. Feels good.
When you said we got a first here, I was like, what could possibly be a new first here? I feel like we've done that like every other week. There's a first.
On that note, episode 567 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Kent State head coach Mark Carney will join us.
Very good.
Just a reminder, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you check out our website, okbreakdown.com. Hope you all have a great start to your week. Until next time, we appreciate y'all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.